Well, it's back down to the wine cave. This is called depletion of resources. Basically, every Labor Day, I have my big wine party, and I invite a bunch of people over, and everybody leaves with a bottle of their favorite. And a lot of bottles have left. Plus, I am drinking 1 glass a night of red wine as part of a healthy diet. So that does take away from a little bit, but have no fear. I got Chianti that I bottled just the other day. That'll take a good 6 months at least before it's ready to be sipping. But today, it's the end of January 2014, and I've been putting this off. But hey, fall is a busy time of the year for me. I've got harvesting of the grapes. I still got a freezer full of grapes that I still got to do stuff with. I've got bow hunting, gun hunting, and both my girls swim in high school, and they won the state champion. If you haven't watched the videos, you really need to see this. Won the state championship. A little self-promotion there. And so I've put off a lot of the normal stuff that I'd get bottled by now, and one of them is the Blushing Monkey, which is, you like that? I got a light behind there. Just goes to show you what a little bit of time does. A little bit of time does, and I didn't use any clearing agents or anything, but it's had plenty of time. If you know that I usually start my strawberries in July or August, and it's clear as a bell, but it needs sweetening, and that's what we're doing today. I've got exactly 5 gallons, so I'm going to have to take maybe a bottle's worth of wine out. I think I'll probably just bottle one. Right now it's the specific gravities at about 1.000, so it's dry. And I want to take it to about 1.010, and I'll just I'll bottle 1 bottle dry, because it really smells and actually tastes pretty good, but it's a little bit too dry. I think it might be a little bit too dry for some people. And I want both the flavors to come out, and I think especially with strawberries, a dry strawberry just tastes like powdered dry Kool-Aid, and nobody likes that I know of. So I've got other stuff to bottle too. I've got strawberry over there in a little gallon jug right there, and I've got other strawberry coconuts that I did, strawberry lemon, a gallon of that. And I got, let's see, my Frontenac cherry there. I got tons of stuff to bottle. But what we're doing today is we're going to sweeten that up. And it's just going to be adding enough sugar. I'll do it 1 cup at a time until I get and stirring it in as I siphon it into a new 5 gallon. And get it up to 1.010, which is a sweetness that I like with a lot of my fruit wines, especially the strawberry. It's worked well. I got a lot of awards for it. So that's what we're going to do. And that's what we're going to do. So basically, took a little pint jar and took 1.5 pints of sugar, got it in the bottom of the carboy, and I'll rack off about half of the 5 gallons and stir it into solution until it's dissolved. And that's what we're going to do. Alright, as you can see, I've got the transfer going here. And I know the lighting's not great, but you can see it's slowly filling up. Got a nice little rosé color to it. That's why I call it Blushing Monkey. I mean, it's not as deep red as if it were just strawberry, as you can tell by the other one over there. But that's what the bananas will do it. Banana wine is, every time I've made it, it's banana yellow. I mean, it's as yellow as a banana skin, and it does make the Blushing Monkey turn out to be a blush color. So we'll take it down to about 2.5 gallons and then stir it into solution. Stir the sugar into solution, maybe add a little bit more. We'll see. I think a cup might do it. So, or a pint actually. All right, we're a little past halfway into the carboy, so I stopped it, and I've got my sanitized brewing spoon, brewing paddle there actually, and that's what I'm going to use to stir up the sugar into solution. This will take a few minutes, but I'll give you a look at it. Also, this will take some carbonation, any leftover carbonation, which you never want in your wine. Little CO2 that might be trapped yet. All those sugar particles will kick out the CO2, kind of like what Mentos does in a Coke. So this will take a few minutes, but as you can see, whoops. As you can see, we are getting rid of a little extra CO2. And I'll show you a picture later on when we're all done and we transferred it all over and it clears. Okay, we're all done stirring. The foam's pretty much cleared. Still got a little on the top. I did measure the, for expedience, I put the hydrometer. You can see it floating in there. I didn't want to use my wine thief. I just figured, I know I'm going to be right at the right mark, and just to prove that, I'll see if I can get in here. Well, it's tough to do when you got one hand. Well, you're going to have to trust me. we're at 1.010, which is right about where I want them. And I actually tasted it, and the ironic thing was, and this is a good lesson for all the home winemakers, and a lot of guys know it, is these glass carboys, these were two, one down here and the one there, are 5 gallons. Now, I took out a pint of wine in that little cup over there, the canning jar, and added a cup or a pint of sugar. So you would think that it would have equaled out, but I actually ended up pouring all of the wine back into this carboy. So this carboy's approximately 1 pint, holds about 1 pint or a little less than 1 pint more liquid than the other 5 gallon. So which one is at 5 gallons? I don't know. Or they're both a little off. But yeah, all these big giant carboys can vary in by little bits. That's why you need to top up with, have other juice or similar wines to top up your volume, because nothing's perfect, especially when you're talking larger. I mean, I've got a 15-gallon demijohn that I've never checked for accuracy, but because I don't feel like it, but and I don't use it that often. But that's where we're at. Now we're going to wait about at least 30 days. Everything's still crystal clear. I did get a lot of foam off of it by stirring it up, so that's good that we got a lot of the CO2 knocked out along with the sugar stirred in. You can actually see how clear it is at the bottom. So there is no sugar. Everything's in solution. And it tastes wonderful. That'll be entered in the State Fair this May. Middle of May is when they hold the judging. So I'm really curious to see how this one will do. So until later, Steve out. As a little added perspective, I decided to do the Frontenac, my backyard Frontenac grape, Frontenac cherry pie. A little perspective of how light that was. I still have that same light behind the Frontenac cherry. It's right back there. You can't really see it because it's Frontenac's a very dark grape, and I'll need to, what I'm doing is the same thing. I'm actually sweetening it up. Same process. I experiment every year with the Frontenacs. Last time I did cherry pie, and that actually got a first place at the State Fair, Frontenac cherry pie combination. This one I'm doing with a, I'm using the same principle, but this time I went a little low tech and used a Welch's cherry juice, which is mixed with grape juice too, but it's your basic frozen cherry juice. So that's what we're working with. We'll see how it turns out. I'm optimistic. It smelled great while it was fermenting. I think it's going to be a lot more heavy on the Frontenac than the first one. It was a little bit more heavy on the cherry. But it's another one that I have high hopes for. But I thought I'd give you a little perspective. Now you can see it shining through a little bit there, but that's a dark grape. So, and yes, you can grow red wine grapes in Wisconsin. Although I don't know if they'll survive today. We've had below zero weather for the last, oh God, it seems like a month. So, end of January in Wisconsin. Yeehaw. Steve out.